And right there, Mr. Dylan's. What's going on?
Work,
Three of them.
college, personal accounting.
And a pager too.
Miss Karen,
She's out. Let me see where Daryl's at. Huh? Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on tonight's meeting. Ms. Vigil, can you call order? Oh, the time is 6:01. We are starting our meeting.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Here.
Councilman Brent Hathaway,
here,
Councilwoman Luis Gallego. Here. Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Okay, thank you. Pledge allegiance, everyone. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Salute the state of flag.
state of Mexico. Symbol of friendship of united cultures.
Still gotta learn that one. Thank you. Okay, we have a change in the presentations tonight. Tira Terra Sustainable Housing presentation will not take place. I don't know what happened there. Conflict of interest. I was hoping that Mr. Ortega would be here by now. I'd like to offer offer condolences for the loss of his mother.
Can you do a moment of silence in honor of Karen's mom and Carol's mom and well, mother and mom?
Let's offer a moment of silence for Miss Shannon's mother-in-law and Mr. Ortega's mother as well. Thank you, everyone. Okay, next item, we have approval of the minutes. Any changes, discussion?
Motion to approve, motion as presented, Mayor, please.
Thank you.
Second,
Okay, got a first and a second. I got a motion and a second. Ms. Vigil, please call roll.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Hathaway,
yes,
Councilwoman Luis Gallego.
Yes.
Okay, next up, we have a presentation by, I'm gonna say it's for the Village of Questa Gateway Monument. It's gonna be Gecko Architects. Landscaping. That's gonna be doing the presentation. Thank you, Jimmy. do we have a slide on this or no?
Did you print anything? Okay, he has a physical copy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a few extras if anybody wants. Let's do it on the phone, I'll be- there's some copies there. Then there's some copies you guys can pass around. All right, so I was contacted by Nancy, and Nancy, Lynn, and a few other people to address or come up with some ideas for I don't know what you guys call it, but we call it I'm calling it the corner where the stoplight is, where we have the marquee with the Questa, information on Questa and stuff. That's what I'll be discussing. We wanted to present something that celebrates Questa's rich mining heritage and farming heritage. And so we looked at this place, and right now it's just very outdated. A lot of overgrown weeds, and maybe when it was built with good intentions, it's kind of gotten a little outdated. So our idea was to create something that addresses this culture that we have here in Questa, you guys have here in Questa, and at the same time create something that's more sustainable, requires less water, and still looks beautiful, almost like a beautification project, basically, in the corner. So what we are planning is items to remain would be the digital monument board, obviously with the timber posts. That remains. These existing flagpoles would remain, and the varying grade changes would remain. We'd work with those and try to incorporate those into the design. What would be removed is existing block terraces, or the CMU terrace blocks that are there, the red ones. Any existing turf, there's some turf in the immediate area, and lots of weeds and just small landscaping elements that would be removed as well. The hardscape components would be fully clean all this up, lay down some heavy duty weed barrier, contour a little bit based on our design that we came up with, add some large boulders that kind of represent the colors of the rocks that we find here in Questa. So kind of like a goldish brown tone, some large boulders mixed with some smaller boulders. And then the smaller gravel would just be a fractured rock. So along with all that, we'd bring in some new native plants. And as you can see in the design that I kind of passed around, we would try to incorporate some mining stuff, some mining equipment, or it's not a big area, but we want to just kind of represent, the community here. So maybe a mining cart, we're thinking, and then on the other side, maybe a farm implement. Along with that, I think the most significant of this would be a large metal, like a decorative metal piece of art. Mm-hmm. That if you look in the back of your packet, you're going to see some examples, but obviously this is just in the initial phases, and we can always modify it. And we can also incorporate maybe some people's ideas, artists in the community that can come up with something different. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it would be a big 5x10 metal structure, 1/2-inch steel with the CNC cutouts of whatever we choose. But my idea was to represent farming community on one side, the mining community on the other side,
and maybe the Questa back mountains in the backdrop. So something very, Questa-like.
Great.
Mr. Cisneros,
Yes,
thank you for your presentation, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but just for clarification, is this on the site for the Veterans Memorial?
Yes, ma'am.
What happens to all the stuff on the veterans?
That remains. That remains. So we're only staying in that semicircle area and going to the retaining wall that's in the back.
Okay, thank you,
You're welcome. Okay, so we're calling what I'm calling a steel heritage panel. So that's that 5x10, 5x12 piece of art. As far as plants, we're thinking grasses like blue oak grass, Carl Forester, grasses that are easy to maintain and are native to the area. Perennial flowers, examples are black-eyed Susan, some catmint, Gaillardia, firecracker penstemon, some moonshine yarrow, and there's I also printed pictures of all those plants that I just mentioned. Some shrubs would be the yuccas that we find nearby, the soapweed yuccas, the yucca bacara, Apache plumes, New Mexico olive. I'm naming a lot of stuff here, but it's only one or two just representative of the area, basically. Each shrub will just kind of give us an example of what grows around here. One example is the big sage, or the chamiso that we call chamiso around here. Western sand cherry. I wanted to throw a bristlecone pine behind the marquee just to kind of give it a backdrop. Because any small shrubs we put back there, you're not going to see them. So maybe a bristlecone pine's a little bit. It's a hardy tree. It's a native to northern New Mexico. And it wouldn't grow super big, especially in this environment, but it would kind of backdrop the size. That's the sun, basically.
Something about that tree, Mr. Cisneros.
Yes, sir.
I've had trouble growing those in my yard. You warranty it?
Yes, we warranty all our work for a full year. We also plan on running an irrigation system. There's one already in place, but if it doesn't function, we'll get it going and we'll make sure it's running. It'll also have an automatic timer, so everything runs automatically as well.
Great.
I've had really good success with those, even up at the ski valley at 10,000 feet. So they are native at this elevation, but yeah, we'll do our best to make sure they survive. Okay. So just to kind of sum it up, we want to create a strong community story with this redesign. Strong regional identity for Questa, northern New Mexico, and just a practical approach to sustainability, putting plants in that are sustainable, that are native to this area. Nothing that's out of the ordinary here that's going to require extra water. And our goal is to eventually, down the road in a few years, maybe not even have to run the system, but maybe once a month, twice a month, just to supplement what's there. Nobody waters sage out there, and it survives. Exactly. So that's our goal, is to plant stuff that's going to survive on its own. And most importantly, a good balance of beauty and maintainability. Something that's easy for the village to maintain. That's not going to be an extra day of work for already a strained crew or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So our costs, basic costs would be 15 to 25 would just be going in there, bringing in boulders, contouring, doing the river rock, getting the irrigation up and running, but no plants. That wouldn't include the metal cutout or the metal structure. And so the full build out from 25K to 40K, and that's on the high end, would include the art structure, the metal structure, the cutout with showing the heritage of Questa.
Right.
We were, if we could get people, if we could find some farm implement that somebody would donate, I was thinking that would be great to just kind of get the community involved. maybe a mining cart somebody has kept over the years that we can also incorporate into the design that somebody can donate as well to keep the cost down. And Gecko would just donate the time to install those and make sure they're secure and they're not going to get stolen. So.
One thing regarding this project, looks like we're funded, correct? Possibly through the Lord.
Okay.
I think we're probably funded up to 25,000. So it looks like we might need some more money to get the cutouts that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe some of the shrubs and everything.
Since Lynn Stahl was doing the presentation, is Lunenburg not responsible for this? Or is this one on us?
I think she's asking.
It was part of the committee, so how would you go about saying that, Miss Parker? Who's responsible for this? Just the committee, or how much is QEDF involved with this?
Lynn hasn't given us a dollar amount. She was gonna take it to their committee, and she's paying for the plans itself to the QEDF.
Right.
And so we haven't gotten a definite dollar amount from the QEDF about how much they're.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Mr. Ortega.
I think we need to table this item because we're not even sure exactly where the funding's coming from. Ms. Karen's not here.
It's just a presentation. so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
but I'm just
action
saying-
items.
So we can actually discuss this, because, not knowing where the money's coming from is pretty important for all of us to know. But if it's just a discussion, then I'm okay with it, as long as there's no vote to take on this.
Yeah, so there's no vote on this, Mr. Ortega. I do believe we possibly have a $25,000 fund from Lord Foundation. That's not set in stone, but, for tonight, we just wanted to. So the idea is that we were gonna start removing the bricks there in the middle of town and take them to the farmer's market. The farmer's market is not ready for the bricks, so they were hoping that we could bring them over here to the yard. That is probably not a popular idea because I don't think we need more stuff back here.
Another thing we need to discuss too is the farmer's market itself. It looks like it's outgrown its place there and probably needs to find a new place, and not this year, but for next year, because there's a lot of complaints with vehicles parked along the road that goes to the restaurant, and they're afraid of ambulances having to go through their fire trucks. They're not gonna make it. And, we do have the multi-port filter, which has power and everything else also just like there. It has more room for the kids to run around and play and not have to worry about traffic. So that's something that we need to discuss at a later date, but thinking of moving bricks to another place that might have to move somewhere else. I don't know if that's a good idea right now, but that's something we'll have to look into, I guess.
Right. Mr. Cisneros, do you have any more to offer? Are your presentation pretty much complete?
I got some rough numbers just for, we gotta just fine tune the numbers and make sure everything's correct. But for right now, fractured rock, the gravel, the weed barrier, large boulders, prep and grading, and the dry riverbed that's shown on the design is around 20,000 for that. Yeah. The plantings are coming out around 8, but I still need to source some other sources of mine. And the steel framing is around 7. So the only thing we lack now is just the irrigation, but I think we can leave a contingency in there. If the irrigation doesn't work, then this will be a change order, just because we don't know if it does work or not. If anybody knows otherwise, that would be great to know if it was running at one time or not, and if there's water at that sign.
I believe there's water, as I talked to head of the Public Works, John Rael, And he stated that there was water there.
There
He
is,
hasn't run it in a while, but
okay.
I'm sure he can get it going.
So like I said, we could leave a contingency on our quote that, you know, if it doesn't work, then we gotta do a change order, but if it does work, this will be the set amount, fixed amount for the irrigation, so, just some fine tuning, and I'll have some numbers for Nancy, provide for Nancy tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselors, anybody have any more questions for Mr. Cisneros?
No.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, we're gonna move on to action items. Discussion, consideration, and decision resolution 2026-12, Village of Questa Travel and Per Diem Policy and Procedures Manual. I think we discussed this in the last meeting. Mr. Ortega, you had a couple of questions regarding this?
I did, so I want to make sure that, the mayor wasn't aware that this was not gonna be in front of us again, only one time. So we were gonna make sure it came out annually on the changes, and then also, how do we have him, sign off on his own travel?
Yeah, on number 2.
Yeah.
On the, she has a synopsis of the changes that she made, so number 2 addresses that, so it would be the mayor pro tem that would approve the rate.
Okay, Ms. Fahid?
Karen isn't here, but she will provide you again a synopsis of the changes that were made, that were asked for the travel policy the last time. If you have questions, I can try and answer them, but for the most part, the changes that were made are on this first page.
Counselors, do we have any questions for Ms. Fahid? After looking through the packet?
I'll make a motion to approve it, Mayor.
Okay. We have a second.
1 second.
Ms. Vahid, we have a motion to approve and a second. Can you please call roll?
Yes, Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brent Hanamia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you. Next action item B. Discussion, consideration, and decision resolution 2026-17, authorizing project SAP 25-J24-472-GF sewer line extensions, Village of Questa. Whoa.
Mayor Pro Tem and council members, I did include in your packet a grant agreement that the village has received. Let me pull it up real quick. We're doing 2472. So this is for sewer line extensions. Jake was not able to be here today, so I will try and answer as many as I can. But basically, the village did receive money to do some sewer line extensions. Now, this doesn't dictate where they're happening. I know we did have a study showing where they're needed and stuff like that. And so that'll be part of this. So this is just accepting the money into the village of Questa. It's not doing any construction or finalizing any specific sewer lines that are gonna get extended or not. It's just accepting the money within the village of Questa.
What was the total amount on the money?
This is 400,000.
And by us accepting it, that we can come back later and determine where it goes?
Yeah, this is just accepting the money, and then we'll have a discussion on what sewer lines will be extended, where, who it'll affect, who it won't affect. So this is just accepting the money, and then we'll come back with the discussion after.
So we all understand that the employees don't make the rules or the decisions on where things are spent. It's actually the council and the mayor, just make sure that it's done correctly. But, there are a lot of projects I've been noticing that, like changing the speed bumps on Progresso Road to a different number than what was originally put on there. That actually has to come to the council because that's a change of scope of work, and the contract did change. So it can't be done internally inside these walls.
Yeah,
It
we
has
just,
to come to the council, and I want to make sure we all understand that.
yeah, we just, like, discuss it internally and then we bring it to you for consideration. And then if you guys choose that, you know, this isn't working, then you guys can set up a meeting with Karen to talk about, you know, how you guys would like to expend the money. This is just for sewer line extensions only, so it won't be able to go to any other part of sewer except sewer line extensions. I know, like I said, that there was some sort of documentation made of two different areas that need sewer line extensions. I don't have that document, but when the process starts, then you know, I'll be happy to get that from Karen and share that with you all and see how you guys feel about that.
So is this grant, just go for engineering?
It's engineering and construction.
Yeah, but
Is this different
There's
than
not-
the USDA one?
Yes.
Yes. that's-
This is a
that's the next
different one.
because at 400,000, you really don't get much.
Yeah, so this isn't for the sewer expansion, but that one's next, and I'll explain a little bit more on that one. But yeah, $400,000. I mean, when they did that small report or whatever, it won't cover much, but it'll at least get us started.
Does the village have a engineer under contracts, or did you go out for request for proposal?
We would go out for an RFP.
Councilors, any more questions for Ms. Vigil?
Just where did we get the money from?
It's going through the NMED, but we got it through, I believe, capital outlay.
I believe it was capital outlay. I was
Yeah.
talking to, Mr. Laforte
Yeah.
Said in
yesterday.
the first sentence, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we entertain a motion to accept or authorize the project sewer line extensions?
So
Just to accept the money, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the money with the understanding that that'll come before the council before we decide where the money is spent.
Okay, can I get a second?
Actually, Jennifer.
second,
Okay. Ms. Vigil, I have a motion to accept sewer line extensions and a second. Please call roll.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
yes.
Councilwoman Louise Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Action item C, discussion, consideration, decision, resolution 2026-18, authorizing project, I'm not gonna read the number, wastewater treatment plant, Village of Questa.
Okay, so this is, the same thing. We did receive capital outlay money. This is not moving forward with the project. This is just accepting the money. This was in the amount of $230,000. And this is for the expansion of the sewer plant.
Ms. Vigil, this money includes is part of the 2.8 million or 3.8 million that
So
from the USDA?
It's not part of it. It's a separate funding source, but it is going into the same project.
And with those two monies, are we fully funded?
Correct.
Great.
I know something that has been brought up earlier in previous meetings was the SCADA system over at the sewer plant. And this will, we will be able to not rehabilitate the SCADA system, but allow us to purchase a new one.
Awesome. Make a motion to approve resolution 2026-18 here.
Councilors, do I have a second?
Second,
Ms. Vigil, I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-18. And a second, please call roll.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item, we have Ms. Nailene, matters from the village attorney.
Yes,
I have a
good
question.
evening, Mayor and councilors. As to general updates, I continue to support the village, with various matters. Most prevalent in current times has been reviewing records for ICRA, and revitalizing internal policies, including but not limited to the code of conduct. Those are continuous and I'm working through those. As to some matters that were brought and raised to council, to councilor, in our last, council meeting. Councilor Ortega had, brought up, the status of a FOIA request, to which we still don't have a status on. Taos County permitting, we're still working through and trying to find an MOU between Taos County and the village of Questa. And in regards to the last, matter to which, Marcus Rao had reached out to the body, to possibly meet to discuss, the green hydrogen project. So that is in the works, and, that is a status update from me.
Thank you, Nailene. Councilors, do we have any questions for the attorney?
Several.
Ms. Nailene, we have, there, Mr. Ortega has a bunch of questions for you.
So why is Marcus not on this call?
I don't completely know, we juggle between
Can we get him on?
our caseloads.
Can we get him on just because I asked you a question, then he responds to something to me that I said to the council and the mayor. Then you come back to a meeting and I get a runaround by not being able to talk to him. So can we get him on the phone?
I can deliver him a message because I'm the attorney, representing the village.
Yeah, this is the bad thing, this is the bad thing. So you're aware of the email I sent to the council, mayor, and Marcus Rayo?
I believe he responded, didn't he not, Council Ortega?
So he responded with, he would like that. So first of all, just for the public's knowledge, I sent an email to the council, the mayor, and attorney asking that we get the hydrogen project on the agenda. He came back with, at this time, we're gonna have I would like to meet with the council prior to meeting the public about this project, because some new stuff has come about or a board that he's aware of. Yet in the same email, he says, and that way the council can tell me which direction they want me to go in. Well, obviously, he's already meeting with Kit Carson's attorney, so who gave him the authority to meet with Kit Carson? This is why I need Marcus here, because you're just gonna tell me, well, I'm not sure, I'll ask him. Then 2 weeks pass, a month passes, 2 months pass, 4 months pass. 7 months I've been on the city council and I still can't get anything on the agenda, whether it's going through the mayor, the council, the attorney, I still get pushback. So I'm totally not in favor of whatever you guys are doing and that they'll give you guys play by, Marcus is the attorney, but I'm here today, but he'll send you an email and let you know, and we'll set up a day so we can talk about the hydrogen plant, because some new stuff coming out that he's aware of. I don't know how him and the attorneys are meeting when the council hasn't given him that authority.
Right.
Hold on. Let's listen to the attorney, please.
Your project has been a continuous concern. If I may regurgitate or repeat your exact concern in last week's meeting, to which I addressed with Marcus, and he wanted to meet with the mayor and meet with council to bring whatever, address whatever concerns the council had. So your question was, request to meet with Kit Carson attorney in order to understand the project and address some questions. I think he's addressing that and requesting a meeting so that every council.
But the
and
email,
mayor may understand.
I could read the email so you know exactly how it was stated. It said, I've been meeting with the attorney from Kit Carson Electric, and there are some changes. We didn't ask to meet with attorneys, we asked to have a meeting for Kit Carson and the village to meet, period. We didn't ask, go into attorney details, go bargaining for us. We don't even know what's going on. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on with that project at all. Nothing. You
I
know?
think this would address that, Councilor Ortega.
Yeah, so if I'm not aware of it, and I've gone to Key Carson, I've done public comment at their board meetings. I've asked for them to have a meeting with us. I was pretty much laughed at. You know, but yet this project continues to move forward here in this village of Questa, and all the dust flying and contaminants in the soil, and yet we're okay with it. You know, our attorneys and the council and mayor are okay, move forward with the project. So what if you don't know what's going on or no one else knows what's going on? I guess it's all led by one person, which would be the mayor, I guess. As I did see some other communications between, the mayor and Kit Carson Electric talking on behalf of moving forward of the $35 million, we're gonna get $20 million. I don't know where anybody's making deals when the council's not aware of what's going on. The mayor runs day-to-day business, the council does everything else. If there's a road project, a sewer project, anything like that, that's what the council takes care of, any kind of monies that are spent or received. So where do we not understand each other is the part I don't understand.
Councilor Ortega, you had requested for more details from legal and to reach out to Kit Carson Electric.
I asked for a meeting, that's correct, I asked for a meeting.
There are two attorneys that work with the village of Questa, myself and Marcus. He would like to discuss that with you all. With respect to funding and anything that, you know, the village of Questa is supporting the green hydrogen project, you are correct. Everything must go through council.
So I'll ask again, I'll go through all the questions I asked you last meeting. On the July 28th meeting, I asked Attorney Bailey for the original USDA grant. Have you gotten it yet?
No, that has been requested, we still don't have it.
So Kit Carson, you guys are making deals over there with Kit Carson attorneys, but you can't get a simple application to USDA. Is that correct?
We're not authorized to make any deals with Kit Carson Electric. We actually reached out to them to find a way around the FOIA request for the Kit Carson application on USDA.
And just
Because we are aware that it takes a very long time, and we're trying to get these documents over to council for review.
so Kit Carson's holding a document. They have that document. We shouldn't have to FOIA for it.
For proprietary reasons, we are told that they want to not release everything, hence why there are FOIA requests.
So we haven't
So the
released.
appropriate mechanism is to go through USDA and request for a FOIA. This is what we did. What will then happen is pursuant to the exceptions to FOIA, they'll redact whatever is necessary and issue to us what we, the public, would be allowed to have. This is the document we're waiting for.
So, and
It takes a very long time.
I've asked your law firm and Marcus Rael since January. Here we are in August. I'm still waiting on the FOIA request, which
We
Kit
are still
Carson,
waiting
said-
for the FOIA.
which Kit Carson, Luis Reyes shows me when I go into the office. Look, I have it. And I have that document. It's right here. Let me hide it from you. But yet you can't get that document, okay? Next thing is MOU for Taos County and the Village of Questa permitting.
That was part of my updates to the village.
Say that you're still looking at it. We don't have one. So my recommendation
That
would
is still
be,
pending item.
so my recommendation would be, and this council should all, that project should be shut down until we get a permit. Period. You know, if I was having this project going on, I'll guarantee you I'd be shut down without a permit. Because it's Kit Carson Electric and the mayor works for Kit Carson and all the other, people that are tied in with Kit Carson, it moves forward without a permit. That is ridiculous. Let's see here, how is the village allowing Kit Carson to continue working without a permit? How are we doing that?
I don't know if she heard you, Mr. Ortega.
Megan, did you hear that? How is the village of Questa allowing K Carson Electric to continue working without a permit?
Council Ortega, so I didn't know that question was directed towards legal. The legal question would be, is that a factual statement that there is not a permit?
There's not one posted.
We do not know if there isn't a permit, then you would be correct.
Okay, so when you
But
build,
based on what we have, we don't know if there isn't.
when we authorize people to come in front of us and ask to put a mobile home on a piece of property, there's a permit on their property. I go over there, I see the permit. There's a permit on these properties. I go over this Chevron project, I see no permit. It should be visible. It should be posted where people can read it without having won the property. There's not one. Why?
Would the governing body like me to ensure that there's one that needs to be posted? Because if that's, the determining factor as to the claims that there may not be a permit.
Have you asked Kit Carson for the permit? When you guys spoke, did you ask where the permit was?
The question was if there's an identified MOU between Taos County and the village of Questa.
And there's
That was
not,
the question.
and there's not one. So and even if there was one, I did look at what we do have in writing, and this council has not authorized anybody to take that, position to be able to go permit people or take permits away or shut projects down. So I don't see exactly how we're speaking, because we don't have that. The village of Questa does not have that, and you are the village of Questa attorney. You can look at those records, what I looked at and what I found, and I don't see any of that in there. Do you find something like that?
What we can do, the governing body and Council Ortega, we can search for these permits and provide them to the village.
So there's 2 more weeks,
Next on the agenda.
maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then the project's going on forward. You know, we still have the $29 million that the village of Questa has, and we haven't issued any kind of permitting. We haven't said that we're gonna go forward with the solar array, but yet the solar array is being put up. How are they spending money that the council hasn't even approved?
Shut it down.
If it,
Shut it down.
please, I don't wanna hit that, I don't wanna hit that thing.
Unbelievable.
Mr. Ortega, I think actually what Kit Carson's doing is they're using their own money to spend on whatever they're doing out there right now.
And then they're gonna ask the village for the 29 million?
Well, that remains to be seen. They haven't come up to us, contracts, so.
Well, we don't even know what's going on. We don't know the bridge loan, we don't know the interest rate, we don't know what revenue is the village gonna make, what are we not gonna make, what are we investing, how much do we saddle up our residents of Questa with more tax burden? You know, everything's getting pretty high as it is, and it's pretty hard to make a living right now. And I don't see us going in another $25 million. The ICIP, we shut that down, so there's not another 25 million coming in that they're gonna ask for. That's no longer gonna take place, but. So, the email, whatever, nothing happened with that. I got told we'll have a study session, correct?
That is a workshop session is what Marcus has suggested.
Are we still needing, the majority of the council to be able to get something on the agenda?
Yes. Did you hear that, Maylene?
To get something on the agenda, Mayor, Council Ortega,
Yes.
then there would need to be an action item. What action item would be on the agenda for the village of Questa to consider?
So I'm still, as a councilman, trying to get something on the agenda. I'm being told we need 3 councilors or council persons to be able to get something on the agenda, but yet, this project with the 65 homes was on here.
Would that be, Mayor Ortega, just to make sure I'm tracking correctly, would that be pursuant to the rules of procedure?
Is that what you guys have for the village of Questa? Is that what the procedure is? Because no one can give you a procedure.
I believe that was issued to the the body, governing body, some months ago. It's
Can you
something
get-
I worked on. Do I need to open it?
Can you give me that? Because I don't see it anywhere, I can't find it.
You guys never voted on it and it never came back up on the agenda.
Please, 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 please.
Because if that's the case, then I'll be asking the council here if we can actually come to a understanding, 3 council people on this council to have a special meeting in reference to the hydrogen plant. And if we need to shut the project down, because we don't have a permit, we'll shut the project down. So I'll be asking for that tonight. That we have a special meeting within 72 hours and we put it on the agenda, just the hydrogen plant. Because you guys are making your own little, what you're doing with Kit Carson, mayor's doing what he wants, council sit here knows nothing of what's going on. So would that be appropriate to do tonight?
I wouldn't know the procedure on that. Ms. Mejia, would you know the procedure on that?
So the rules of procedure was never passed, so per state statute, if you guys all agree, 3 councilors agree to bring something on the agenda, then yes, it's a pass of the minutes.
We have to present to the mayor, though, correct?
No, he's not here
No.
tonight. We present it right now. We can put it on the agenda. We
You
can make an
don't,
item.
you don't, you don't present it and you don't take action.
No, we just say we're gonna have a special meeting. If we get 3 people here to say yes, we have a special meeting coming up in 72 hours, whenever that may be, to deal with the hydrogen project.
Wait, I'm not sure though if you can ask for a special meeting, but I do know that you can ask to put a item on the agenda if 3 of you agree.
Why can we not have a special meeting?
Well, I'm not sure, I said I don't know.
So anything that has to do with safety and health, it could be an emergency meeting. We can have it in 24 hours.
Correct.
So there is health and safety issues with this project because there's a soil report with molybdenum, uranium, and we got a contracting company just plowing the fields and throwing that dust in the air. And we have schools in session. Your kids go there, my kids go there, these schools, and that wind is blowing everywhere. We have residents in the area. This is considered to be, it could be an emergency. But I'm trying to be fair about it and just make it a special meeting within 72 hours.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Councilor Thinker, but I do know that if 3 of you agree to bring something, then this is.
Would right now be the time to say that we need to put something on the agenda right now?
I would probably wait for matters from there.
Okay.
That's fine.
We're done there.
Do we have any more questions for the attorney council?
I saw that. So, another concern I have is this, Food for Mars. I don't even know what the project is. It's changing now. It's housing for professionals.
That's not an agenda no more than Mr. Ortega.
But I'm just saying, we had it on the agenda.
Yeah.
We had it on there, and, we have citizens in the village of Questa that their wells went dry and they don't have water. Well, yeah, we're gonna wanna extend water to somebody, but, cause he has money, we're willing to sell our community to someone with money, so people with money like Kit Carson and this, solar array come in.
Why, Mr. Ortega, why don't we wait for that to come up another time? I mean, I think I know where you're going with, that, and that's fine. It's a good conversation piece. But until we come up with this, presentation again, let's answer those questions. Let's move on to the matters of mayor and council members, and I understand where you're going with that, because I was going somewhere with that as well.
And I also, maybe I did my own survey, and, everybody I spoke with is against the hydrogen plant, so,
Okay, please.
So, and I think we'll wait to get the meeting on the agenda, so I'm good, thank you.
Great. Okay, matters from the mayor and council members. Start with Ms. Gallegos.
I don't have this.
Mr. Jaramillo.
I'd like a copy of the procurement code or the latest version of our procurement code.
What now?
Procurement code.
Mr. Ortega, you got anything else to offer?
I'd like to add that item to the agenda, making a new special meeting or a special meeting within 72 hours of tonight to put the hydrogen plant on there. I'm in favor of that. I'm one counselor. Is anybody else in favor of it?
Let me speak on this a little bit, Mr. Ortega and council. You know, there's a lot of things that are happening out there, and seems to be that Kit Carson's operating without a permit. There's a lot of business going on out there right now, and we need to have the hydrogen project. We need to have it on a meeting, and we need to speak about it, regardless if we're for it or we're against it. I know we have to come to a meeting. We have to be able to say, the people deserve a meeting regarding the green hydrogen project. My dilemma is I don't know the procedure for a special meeting. So,
Mayor Pro Tem, if I may suggest, that we meet with Attorney Marcus before we schedule a special meeting, should be on the hydrogen, as he has requested. I think that's only fair, because legally, we don't know what we're up against or what direction we.
So I'm available tomorrow. If Marcus can be here at 8 o'clock, I'm ready.
We're all available
Ms. Gallegos, are you available?
I'm available.
I can be available. Mr. Jaramillo, I know you're busy.
Ask,
It could be
maybe-
available, but you still have to do a 72-hour notice for notice.
Oh. That's,
Maybe you can talk to Marcus and set up a meeting within the 72 hours.
it'd have to be 3 days from now, or from,
That's fine.
before, whenever we can post, it has to be 72 hours from that point.
That's good with me, but as long as we're all in agreement, I'm in agreement, Brett, you're in agreement.
I'll clear my schedule, whatever date and time he says, or if it's here or in Albuquerque, doesn't matter.
Maylene, we'd like to set up a meeting with a lawyer, Mr. Marcos Rael.
Okay,
We need to put out 72-hour notice to the public that there's gonna be a quorum. So the faster this gets done, the better. If we can set up that meeting with Marcos Rael, it'd be great.
I'll discuss this with Marcus, pursuant to his email, to the body.
Thank you. Anything else here, councilors?
Yeah, I have something else. So I just received an email yesterday from Construction Industries Division that they're coming after anybody who's not licensed, bonded, and insured or journeyman. And it actually does a lot for the community. It works being done in our community, and people aren't licensed to do it. We are losing out on grocery sheets tax for villages, Red River, whoever they're doing work at. But I just got an email today, and they're going to come after everybody with a $10,000 fine. That's the first fine, it's 10,000. So construction is trying to crack down, and might be a good thing. Kit Carson might be out there without permits, and have contractors that shouldn't be doing work, and those are all $10,000 fines according to what I received. So, and I'll forward that to you guys, so you can have them.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, everybody's favorite part, public comment. I believe there's something that the mayor reads. It's, the rules, guys. 3 minutes. Okay, we have Mr. Honorio Rael.
Good evening. It's been a minute. I hope you guys all missed me. Unfortunately, I'm flying out to Las Vegas, Nevada in 3 days, so I will not be here. This is my last chance before school to go have some fun. But tonight, I want to talk about some internal controls based on my 11,000-page IPRA. So I reviewed the entire thing, and one thing has become crystal clear to me about the Village of Questa. The people who make decisions for this town do not sit on that board. It is the Questa Economic Development Fund. The Questa Economic Development Fund is an independent Chevron-funded nonprofit partner, but they are not an elected governing body. Yet their agendas are probably 4 times the size of any agenda I've seen from this village. And you know how we've never gotten any updates on what's going on with this project? Well, they get monthly detailed updates from the mayor. Last year, they made teams to complete the zoning ordinance that allowed this project to move forward without a project-specific vote. They made a team to develop a communication strategy concerning the project using the Questa del Rio news. And they've discussed ways that village meetings can be controlled to limit public backlash. The point being that an advisory board has been formulating zoning, public communications, lobbying, grants, major financing strategies, and the public access to its own government with basically zero input from the village council. The $20 million grant makes this problem concrete. Now, I've never heard of this, but on February 1st, the mayor submitted an ECAM grant on behalf of the village of Questa. He requested approximately $35.2 million. And the application stated that the public funding would be used exclusively for infrastructure owned by KCEC. Then the people funding the grant, ENMRD, notified the mayor that Questa had received a reduced partial $20 million award. Kit Carson then told the mayor, quote, "Seems you only have to approve that you accept this partial $20 million and then we are good to go. All the other steps are the standard contracting that we can work through." Kit Carson treated the acceptance of a $20 million grant as something that the mayor could approve alone, after which Kit Carson would handle the rest. Was there a resolution approving this application or accepting the award? No. Who will own the infrastructure? Nobody knows. Who is responsible for compliance, repayment, or a potential clawback? I'm asking you to put some guardrails on the Questa Economic Development Fund. Make it clear to them that they can advise and assist, but they may not represent the village, formulate final policy, or commit village resources without council authority. Also, the Acequias filed against USDA on Friday, and we are moving through with the TRO. And finally, I have 5 more seconds, so I submitted an independent forensic audit off to EPA concerning Alta Vista, and I will update you on anything that comes back from that.
Anybody else for public comment, please? Please state your name.
Okay. My name is Guy Dicharry, Dicharry. And I have something I just want to read here. This is part of the New Mexico statutes that applies to mayor and council forms of government. It's at section 3-12-3C, and it reads as follows. The mayor or a majority of the members of a governing body may call special meetings by notice to each member of the governing body personally served or left at the member's usual place of residence, provided that such meetings shall be in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. So yes, you can.
Thank you. Whoever's next, just come up, state your name, and let us know what you want to talk about.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth Dicharry, and I'm a Pinabete property owner. And I have been talking to my Pinabete neighbors, and we're not exactly in the village of Questa, but we're like right there. And many of us are off the grid, but we still pay taxes. We're still doing all kinds of stuff, and yet it's heartbreaking when I look over and I can see the ugly ground removal that is being done up the side of the mountain. I also run a small nonprofit called Wildlife Conservation Advocacy, and luckily I've had a lot of people comment on that page, and some people are very misguided. They think that the project is getting built over there, over on top of the tailings, and anybody who has gone to an EPA meeting knows that EPA is not going to let anybody build anything on top of the tailings. So what they're doing is as you all know, is they're building right over there. Also, I have been looking up, there's not just one permit that people have to have And now you mentioned CID, but you've got all the local government approvals, you've got state construction permits you have to get, you've got environmental and natural resource clearances that you have to get, and grid connection and utility regulations that also have to be approved. And so there shouldn't be just one permit on the fence that says, oh, I have one permit. And they do have one permit. It's from the EPA that has basically a minor connection to the project. And that's the only one that Questa I know of that got. But you've got all these other permits from the state, the local, the county, and the environmental permits. And to my knowledge, none of those have been done. Before I finish, I do have something that I want to hand to you. And it is, just in case, because you guys, I think I'm preaching to the choir here, which is great. But just in case, I do have fact sheets. And yes, what Honorio was saying is true. This is on leased land for 3 years, and Chevron can take everything back. They can take it all back if they don't renew this lease, which means they get all the infrastructure. So you have to wonder, what does that mean? Here's the Rural Utility Service who's given all the loans and grants, and it was supposed to be for a utility service. And what if Chevron takes it back? Because Chevron is not KCEC. So here you go. And I know you guys, this is what you got here, most of it you know already, but I'm going to tell you this is a very inefficient, horrible project. It needs to be reevaluated, and people, not just whoever, but all the people who are paying taxes who can see this project should be included, and we need to be heard, because it's really sad to see what's happening on our land.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes. My name is Shirley Romero Otero, and I come from San Luis, Colorado. Now, why am I here? I just want to remind this council, in whatever power you have to stop this project, it concerns what happens in my community. I'm your neighbor to the north, about 45 miles. Let me remind you that water is a resource and not a commodity. And right now with this plant, it's being treated as a commodity. Let me also remind you that in my community, I have a background of working for land grant rights and acequias nearly 50 years. Started when I was very young. So I am not an expert in anything, but I have a lot of lived experience. We just came out, or are in, the worst drought, as people that are older than me say, ever in the history of our community. And we just celebrated 175 years of Santana, but we know that we go all the way back. I would like you to think I'm a community organizer and I'm an educator, and I run a youth group. And I think it's important that we look at not in the next 3 to 4 or 5 years or even 10, but what legacy are you all gonna leave to your children, to your grandchildren? Cerro just experienced the lack of water since May the 26th. Do we have to wait until we turn the faucets on and there is no water? Why on God's green earth would we be talking about something like this that absorbs so much water, so much energy? Times are hard financially for all of us. The same thing is happening in our community with the owner of the Sierra, another white privileged multi-billionaire. Let me say that again, multi-billionaire. He is going across the world. We just found out from the people in the UK and Ireland building the AI data centers. Luckily, our commissioners just passed a 1-year moratorium. My concern is the water and what this project would do to the aquifer that's already being depleted in my community. How do I know that? I work for the Anschutz Medical School of Medicine, and I do testing in household wells. And we realize that the water is being depleted for a lot of different reasons. And once that water is depleted, all these chemicals are coming up. There's arsenic in our water. We're testing children for lead. Please remember that your constituents, who many are not here, and those that don't have a voice, which are the next generation, your children, your grandchildren, and on and on. We could have all of the beauty around us with this beautifying project you're talking about. We all own lots of land, but if we don't have water, we don't have nothing. We will become ghost towns. And if this drought season didn't teach you anything, then you're burying your head in the sand. So please consider what this will devastate your community, and it has the potential to devastate our community as well. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors. My name is Malachi Israel. I'm the chair of the Questa Economic Development Fund, and just currently someone mentioned that we are in control of what goes on, and you, as anyone else, knows that that's not true, because you all run the town, and we just try to help and provide opportunities. Regarding opportunities, you see that there was the agenda, the housing issue, which I hear there's a lot of people opposed to it. Well, I am in favor of it. One reason I'm in favor of it, because it helps bring and allow our children and grandchildren to come back to Questa. When that doesn't happen, what you see is gentrification. Do you want to know what gentrification looks like? Well, you don't have to go far and look. First of all, you get people here coming, which I don't mind, I think it's great, but one, their contribution to the community, they don't bring children, very little children. They don't bring jobs, very little jobs maybe. Next, what happens is that this town will start looking more like Valdez and Arroyo Seco. This town will no longer belong to the people who settled it. And if you're ready for that, great. Economic development is something that is very important to our community. We always have to look for various ways and diverse ways to improve our community. And when you come up with an idea and it gets shut down because somebody thinks it's wrong and they do efforts, and I want to call when the pot calls, the kettle black. When I was previously, we tried to get a welding program with the schools, in which we were going to have a pathway to Los Alamos where these children will learn how to weld. It was passed by the school board, but at that time, the chair used the board, the superintendent, to shut down those efforts. And it took years before we even were able to get the welding program gone. So I think it's important that when things are going to help our community, to allow our children to come back, to come and live and work in Questa, we have to take a good, hard, serious look at that. Alternative energy. We know it's important. These projects were supported from the top. The governor, she had a mandate. Kit Carson was just responding to that mandate, okay? People like it, they don't. It's just a response. But if people don't like it, they don't like the solar panels, there's an option. It's called drill, baby, drill. That's the only other option there is. We can't put windmills here, and we want windmills, right? We have solar panels. You see the solar panels going to Costilla, you sometimes don't even notice they're there. Only if you're looking hard enough. But if you want to continue the way we will, then you're going to realize that you are no longer in control of your community. Someone else is. And they're the people who stand out there with the posters making the decisions for you. And if that's what you like, fantastic. Thank you.
My name is Gerald Ortega. I'm a resident of Questa, and I'm going to respond to Mr. Royale's accusation of the welding program. You can stick around, man. You can hear it. So now we wanted to bring a welding program into Questa and bring adults to be around kids without background checks, without being background checks. He wanted adults with kids without a background check, and our attorney shut that down because we don't need pedophiles in our schools and around our kids. And as far as you people that he's pointing out are outsiders, I guess is what he's trying to say, no one here is an outsider. We're all children of God. And if you decide to live in this community, that's a great thing. And I accept you as a community member in this community, outlying communities. There's people who don't, there's people like me who do. You know, we all bring something to this community. I know scientists that I work with that live in Cabrisco Road. I know doctors, I knew nurses that brought it to the schools because we needed nurses. There were emergency room nurses in Oklahoma. They actually worked for the Questa schools. I knew a bunch of people from my experience of working with people. So I know a lot of people in this community, and I accept all of them. There might be some bad ones, but there's sure a lot of good ones. And those are the people we want to keep here. And that's why the welding program didn't go through with Los Alamos, because he wanted to bring people in that were in their 60s, 50s, 40s without being background checked and be in a classroom with kids. And that puts the liability of the district, which we don't need. You know, we already have enough of those trumps out there. We don't need any more. Thank you.
Okay, if we have another outburst, I've been told Chief is gonna shut it down, okay?
Shut it
So, no more back and forth, back and forth. That's the
Yeah,
last
I
one.
agree with you. Okay. See you next week, 2 weeks. I'll be back.
No, you can speak. I said if there's any more back and forth,
No.
we're gonna shut it down,
No, I'm
okay?
not. Let me put my glasses on so I can get with it here. Myself is the hydrogen system is pumping at least 42,000 gallons a month, and 82,000 gallons daily. Okay. Sarah relies on the fractured decade volcano mountains for their water between Guadalupe and the Second Questa Mountains on the west side belonging to hydro. You guys got me all nervous, damn it. Oh, excuse me, English. Hydroelectric Sunshine Valley Upper Rio Grande Water Basin. The hydro plant is also adjacent to homes, acequias, churches, schools, Rio Grande del Norte, the monument, and wildlife migratory routes. Okay. The noise will also affect wildlife and plants growth, and I feel that it could be put somewhere else. Okay, if it's going to be put somewhere else, I feel it's way too close to the city, to the village. We're going to have noise 24 hours a day, lights on during the night. It'll disrupt everything in Questa. Okay, the way of life is going to change drastically. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council. I am here to give public comment on my feelings about the hydroelectric plant. My name is Kristen Jaworski. As a community member of nearly 25 years, this is my children and I's home. I want to go on record as being against the project. Putting a hydrogen plant in an area that has been in severe drought is extremely reckless. Over the last 6 months or so, many other valid reasons have been stated at town council meetings as to why this project should not be allowed to continue. The negative impacts of this project far outweigh what little benefits this community will see. I do believe a few people will benefit from this project, maybe already have, but the rest of the community will have been sacrificed. Is that the legacy you want to leave? Money seems to be a main driving force for the allowance of this to go through. In my experience, quick money tends to buy souls. We have the opportunity to move beyond destructive practices. Our community has so much more to offer. It's 2026, let's do better. Thank you.
Thank you.
The guise of green energy continues to fool us. A clean word laid over the wounds that undo us. On paper, utopia. Behind closed doors, greed. Underground, the water disappears. Next door, the poison bleeds. Our lifeblood is traded for promises and profit, while elected officials hold curtains closed, refusing to watch it burn. The rivers are a trickle. When was the last real snow? Blindness to truth makes it hard to know. We live to fight another day, mirroring the consumptive greed of those in power. Will there always be another mountain, another aquifer, another village to sacrifice in our final hour? Is anyone wise enough to turn this ancient boat around, to forge a future rooted in the living ground? In the name of water, in the name of life, free our souls from the bottom line strife. Clean energy goals turned toxic by design are no kind of future for these children of mine. Corporations won't clean up the mess they leave us here. It's time we chart the course, take the helm and steer. The devil has no use for holy water. Our acquiescence to unwise rule makes us ripe for the slaughter. Let us act wisely before the final drop is taken and there is nothing left for our sons and our daughters. Thank you, Council, for all your work, and everyone in this room, thank you, all your work.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Sierra?
Thank you.
Good evening, Council Pro Tem Jessica Joseph, for the record. I just want to reply to what JR said. I know him as JR because I buy tires, or used to buy tires. I look around, it's here, and I look at the people that I've been working with in this community since last January to educate ourselves, educate community, organize community, and take action to stop this. And it's been a long amount of time and yet a short amount of time for as much as we have accomplished. I want to really say that this group here is mostly people from Questa. There's maybe 6 or 7 of us that weren't raised here. This entire movement, while I might not have been born here, and I instigated, and there's some, Sola has been here for 50 years, native New Mexican. Maybe she's not from Questa, but she's been here in Taos County for 50 years. So I just want to point that out, okay? That whatever he was saying. How many of you really think that if there's a hydrogen plant, it's going to create a way for your kids to come home from wherever else they chose to live? This is an old way of thinking that has no fact basis. I understand his sentiments. Clearly, he's having a hard time accepting people beyond just the rooted Questeños. Sounded like racism in my heart. That really even hurt. And I want to thank you, Councilman Ortega, for your God-loving heart and soul. I don't understand why Kit Carson is out there without permits. Conisto is out there with permits, without permits. I think it's very interesting that the CID has called and said, oh, anybody's going to get a $10,000 fine. To me, that sounds like retaliation because a few of us, including myself, went all the way to the top of CID and went above CID to Clay Bailey to complain about CID because they're allowing Conisto out there without permits. And you all in charge of the village are allowing it. And I don't know, the question I would like to ask the attorney is, what's the next step if you wanted to shut it down? If you wanted to say there aren't any permits, we're not going to give you another 2 weeks to keep looking. We've been talking about this for months, at least we have. What is the actual next step that a council person would take to say this is illegal? I joked, I said, do we call the sheriff? Do we call our chief? Who sees jurisdiction? There is illegal building going on.
Thank you.
Shut it down.
Hi,
Please state your name.
Mary Rose. Good evening, councilors. So this was written in response to some of the points that was an article by Riza Fasihi, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, in the Taos News, but it's also relevant here. More water studies are not needed for the hydrogen facility in Questa. Yes, The fact that the water source was switched at the last moment in the fall of 2025, after years of public relations meetings from Kit Carson and the mayor of Questa, that it would be reclaimed water from the former mine, indicates a lack of transparency that has existed from the beginning. Yes, the concerned public has been going to every single meeting, Questa council meetings, although the mayor has not allowed discussion of the hydrogen facility to be put on the agenda. Kit Carson board meetings, Taos County Board of Commissioner meetings, and many others to voice our opposition. Yes, it would be good to see in writing from Chevron why the water source was changed from treated wastewater to well water. The hydrogen facility cannot be built, quote, without hollowing out our water table to do it. Wells are already running dry. Climate change is rapidly worsening, and New Mexico is in a historic mega drought. In 2022, the New Mexico Water Policy and Infrastructure Task Force concluded that the state faces a dire 750,000 acre-foot water deficit over the next 50 years. That's why they wrote the report. Given this statewide report, the hydrogen facility should never have been proposed. The report goes on to say that driven by rising temperatures, shrinking snowpack, and chronic overpumping, the state's renewable water supplies are projected to decline by 25 to 30%, threatening communities, agriculture, and ecosystems. Temperatures across New Mexico are expected to rise 3 to 7 degrees higher than normal. We've seen this already, severely reducing surface runoff and natural aquifer recharge. Given this new reality, the Questa hydrogen facility should never be constructed. It should be canceled. A good stewardship of the environment and the community would recognize this new reality and make the right decisions that will ensure that future generations in Questa will be protected and thrive.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Adelita Mead. Everyone calls me Didi. Cerro resident. I just wanted to say, as a quartermaster of the VFW in Cerro, we just had a great weekend hosting 8 artists at our hub in Cerro. It was very nice to be part of the Questa Studio Art Tour. And one thing I realized is that I got to know a lot of these great people who happen to be artists, and I get to see their work and it just become a beautiful community. And I want to say that I'm proud to know them. I love my brothers and sisters, in the foothills, El Rito, San Cristobal, wherever you may live. We're all part of Questa. I mean, we all this is where we gravitate to. We call Questa home because it's, that feeling you get when you come down the mountain. And anyway, I just wanted to thank Justin Honorio Rayal and Matt Cherry and Ms. Cherry for their hard work in bringing this lawsuit forth. And I hope there's transparency and complete investigation on what has to be done or whatever permits need to be put in place for this operation to be going on appropriately. Right now, it does not seem to be appropriate for the construction to be happening ongoing without any permits. I'm really hoping that you guys are listening to all of us and to what the lawsuit is talking about. We been working hard on it, and I just want to say thank you to all the people that have been involved. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Paying any money or anything, it's an injunction to stop,
Yes,
is what I'm understanding. We're not suing anybody.
right. It's not about money.
Do we have anybody else for public comment? See, you wanna step up? No?
I wanted to correct that. It's not a lawsuit, it's an injunction that we're asking them to stop.
Mayor Pro Temp, Councilwoman Gallegos, Councilors Ortega and Jaramillo. My name is Jose Duran, and I'm not one way for or against the hydrogen project. There was a bit of ambiguity in Councilor Ortega's request to meet at a special meeting, and Councilwoman Gallegos asked for a meeting with the attorney. And the ambiguity that I see is, are you asking for, and not that I expect any action as this is public comment, but is the ask for a meeting with the attorney between the village and the attorney, or is the ask between the village, the attorneys, and Kit Carson Electric? There was a lot of ambiguity there, and I think, at least based on my understanding with Councilor Ortega, the ask was the village of Questa, the governing body, and the attorney of the village of Questa.
Maylene, can you, can I ask that or no? Okay. Can we talk about that real quick or not right now? Regarding the special meeting that we all, agreed to have with you and Marcos Reyes.
I can address a few items, and I did want to chime in to provide some clarity between a special meeting and an emergency meeting. A special meeting can, as it was appropriately cited by statute, there was a public comment that cited, the statute 3 that called that 3D, which speaks to a special meeting. You call one when a public business needs to be addressed before and outside of regular scheduled meeting. An emergency meeting, which I believe is what Councilor Ortega was requesting, you can request for such meeting if unforeseen circumstances require immediate action. That would be likely to cause imminent injury or damage to the person's property or substantial financial loss to the public body. So I wanted to clarify those distinctions. Pursuant to how we've conducted business previously in Questa, and pursuant to the rules of procedure that haven't been passed but aligned with common practice previously, for a special meeting, as it was correctly noted, pursuant to 3-12-3D, the mayor or the majority of the council can vote to have a special meeting. When it comes to an emergency meeting, it would be the mayor or the mayor pro tem that would make that determination. As for the meeting that Marcus had called, it does not state that it would be with Kit Carson. It would be with the governing body pursuant to the research that he had done and conversations he's had and hearing both the village of Questa and our governing body's concerns with the green hydrogen project. It was to address the questions and the concerns that have arisen, both in meetings or in conducting business throughout the last few months. This is him calling this meeting to provide some clarity.
So I think we want to go ahead and go with that emergency meeting, correct?
You could call an emergency meeting, you're the pro temp.
I mean, you just stated that we can call an emergency meeting as a mayor pro tem, correct?
The emergency meeting would have to be an unforeseen circumstance requiring immediate action, or for calling a special meeting, which would allow the governing body, which would be the councils, to call for it. Public business that needs to be addressed before and outside of the next regular meeting, which appears as this is falling more squarely into a special meeting, not an emergency meeting, because these circumstances aren't foreseen.
I disagree. I think an emergency meeting is called for. Could be potential loss if the village gets in a lawsuit over this project, us allowing these contractors to continue. Someone in the community files a lawsuit against the village for allowing this to happen, that right there constitutes an emergency meeting.
That's why we have legal counsel to give us direction and to keep us out of lawsuits.
But we haven't had anything in 2 or 3 months. I've
We
been
need
asking
to
for a meeting.
consult the attorney before we move forward.
So that's why I wanted Marcus on the phone or online so we could talk to him directly.
Marcus had reached out to the governing body. I don't believe you have responded.
I'm gonna go ahead and call a special meeting when we do meet, no emergency meeting. Okay? I think we already talked about this. Let's continue with, public comment. If anybody else wants to speak,
I just have a question. Is everybody invited to the special meeting?
I don't believe so, but I couldn't tell you that for sure. Maybe because there is gonna be a quorum. I will call this meeting at 7:30. You know, people, thank you everybody for showing up. I mean, it takes a lot to get up here and stand up and speak, but when you do come to these meetings, let's respect one another, okay? Let's not make this thing happen. Thank you.